Hello, everybody. Welcome back to LGL Season 4. It's been a little while since we came at you with one of these power rankings, but do not worry. We are back at it. We're doing Week 6 and Week 7 together, and then Week 8 is going to come out at a normal time. And of course, we hope. Of course, I'm joined with my good friend, Mr. Baconater.
Howdy, howdy. Let's rank some power. I think we gotta hop right into it.
Yeah, we got a lot to talk about this week. So coming in at number 16, we have Mr. Chrono of Oculars, who is he's dead.
He's gone. We fucking killed him. We took him out back behind the shed, old yellered his ass. He's gone.
Oh my god, what the fuck? Yes, we did euthanize Chronoculars. It was a painless process. Don't worry.
In fact, it was a little fun.
It was so fun. He squirmed. Okay, I'm gonna stop now. Yeah, Chronoculars took 2 losses, both of them decently significant. Although his matchup versus Weebo looked pretty decent for a lot of its.
He kind of just threw away half his team to Snivy when he could have just went Pratyush and slapped it right in the nose with the first impression.
Yeah.
Interesting play, you know, when I saw it live I was like, oh, rip, he doesn't have first impression, he's kind of owned. But then he went into it in first impression, and I was so disappointed.
Chronoculars really had this game like on his fingertips. But no, Chronoculars continues to, not tumble through the rankings, sit at the bottom with a 0-6 record in a little pool of his own sadness. Oh god, that's really dark. Sorry, Chronoculars. Better luck next season. Speaking of better luck next season. Oh wait, Kyber can actually make it? Okay. Never mind. Yeah, I thought Kyber was just dead. Apparently not. Kyber is also 0-6. Kyber ended up having some communication issues and was working a lot, so wasn't able to schedule with Billette. Took a loss that way. In addition, who did Kyber actually play this week? You want to take that one?
Yeah, here, let me just check real quick. He faced Bratty.
Ah, yes. Want to give your thoughts on it?
It was a pretty handy beat down by Pratty.
Yeah.
Pretty sure that was the hidden power. I think it was Psychic. It was Psychic or Ground.
Yeah.
Because it was good on Trubbish, but...
I wouldn't be surprised. I would pull Ground because it hits Score Bunny. But Score Bunny doesn't really matter.
Yeah, and Score Bunny is every type.
Oh, that's right. But Psychic only hits Trubbish.
Yeah.
Ground also hits Helioptile.
Yeah.
Which probably doesn't matter. But
yeah, Fate probably does more.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a real beatdown. Solosis took so much damage from Fake Out. It was hilarious.
Yeah, Solosis was just kind of a sacrifice to me now.
Kyber's got
killing.
Yeah. Trubbish Pain Split is not a good move. And Trubbish died so fast, and Trubbish, once again, is the only backbone on the team other than this Flabebe that didn't come. So, it ended up kind of becoming a game of chicken, where Kyber would take out one of Praty's Pokemon, Praty would bring in Meowth, revenge kill that thing, and then Meditite would come in and scare it out. But eventually, Alolan Grimer picked up the Protect read on a high jump kick, and Meditite was able to went down between the Protect 50% and Shadow Sneak from Alolan Grimer. Just kind of a brutal match. Kyber got slogged through it, and it was to little avail. Kyber needs to do a lot to make it to playoff. You want to talk about playoff opportunity?
Yeah, so Garrett losing is arguably the more likely of the 2 things that he needs, because he's going to have to beat Sargs, who is coming off his first win, he's feeling good. He's got a strong team.
Wait.
I would say definitely a stronger team than...
Garrett has to beat Billette.
Yeah, Garrett has to beat Billette, too. So...
Because Garrett lost to Sargs.
Yeah, Garrett lost to Sargs, so...
And this week he has to beat Billette, which decently likely. Or lose to Billette.
Yeah, I'd give him about a 15 to 20% chance to win.
I think that's probably generous.
Probably, but no, I guess we'll find out.
Right. Kyber also has to win in his match against
Sargs.
Yeah. Which is probably is the more is.
Yeah, it's feasible.
It's feasible. Yeah. Sargs is coming off hot. And, if we see some good play, there's a chance Kyber makes playoffs here. He needs to win this match. It all comes down to this. The fact that someone can lose all of their matches and then win this one and make playoffs means I might need to readjust the playoff system.
Yeah, but...
It's what we've got. We're sticking to it, obviously. And I wish Kyber the best.
Yeah, it's not this way in Sapphire, though.
Yeah, no. At number 14, we've got... Speaking of, Garrett
himself. Coming off of 2 tough losses against Hydreigon and Sargs.
Yeah, those were 2 matches. Garrett needed to win at least one of them, realistically. Because those were your 2 easy matchups. Now you're coming into Billette. But let's talk about the matches. Actually, you want to take it away because I actually need to run to the bathroom.
Oh boy, you go.
I'll be right back.
I will keep the spectators happy. All right, everybody. So, Garrett versus Hydreigon. I would say Garrett was in a great position most of the game. He was able to finally get usage out of Mr. Had some pretty good Elekid plays in the early game. But then, unfortunately, it all started to collapse when Spritzy got completely packed by a tail slap. And now this was not the end of it by any means. But unfortunately, to revenge kill it, he chose to go into Elekid, which outspeed, so it was a good choice. But bad things happened when Thunder Punch didn't one-shot, and Hydreigon got to the belly drum up with Magby, and just Mach Punched, but then he Mach Punched but got static paralyzed, so Garrett had a nice opportunity there. Unfortunately, 3 turns of paralysis. He Mach Punched, or not Mach Punched, but Bullet Punched with Machop, so that paralysis wouldn't have mattered if he got it, because he didn't die to 2 Bullet Punches. But if he got paralyzed on Doduo or Ammonite, that would have been the game, and Garrett would have won that. But, that's about a 50-50. I think it's a 52% chance for him to get one of those 2.
Weren't there...
paralyses.
I'm back, by the way. I think there's 3 chances he could have paralyzed. Right?
Yeah, I said that it's not really 3 because of his Bullet Punch on the first one.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Because he was using Bullet Punch, and if he got paralyzed there, a second Bullet Punch didn't kill.
Really should have ran in with the Dynamic Punch. It opens you up to more win scenarios there.
Yeah, you get an extra chance.
You've got to... That's a big thing in Pokemon, in a lot of games that I play. I also play Magic the Gathering, and it's all about win scenarios. Playing to do something is not worth it. You play to... It's better to do a play that has a 20% chance of winning you the game than a play that does 50% to one Pokemon. If that 50% is just gonna lose you the game. You gotta play to your win scenarios, even if it just feels hopeless, or you gotta think about that sort of thing. Garrett's second match was against Sargs. Sargs, as we mentioned earlier, picked up his first win this week, and that was against Garrett, of course. God, I don't remember a whole lot about this match. I remember it being
Well, it started off bad for Garrett turn 1. As he was trying to get tricky with Misdreavus quite literally and tricked Sargs' whatever it is, Mienfu, choice specs. But Sargs was a life orb. He was ready to knock off and kill this thing. And it still killed Misdreavus even when he got tricked with choice specs. And yeah, Misdreavus is gone turn 1.
Not good.
And yeah, then it was just pretty much a steady decline from there. Sargs going tit for tat with them. Got the Shell Smash up with Squirtle to take out two Oops Pokemon, and yeah, from there it was just getting cleaned up. Wiley.
Yeah,
Growl.
You know, it's a bit unfortunate. Garrett's got a very tough road to playoffs. Garrett probably has the toughest road to playoffs of the Ruby trio. He's not like Sargs, who has to beat Kyber, or Kyber, who has to beat Sargs and get some other scenario. He needs to beat Billette, the top player in the division. The undefeated Billette. Billette has started to have some tougher matches recently. Some cracks have shown. So Garrett does have a chance. I honestly, if you'd asked me about it maybe a couple weeks ago, I would have said his chances were like 2%. But, you know, I'll give him a solid little 10% at this point.
15 to 20. But then he also needs Sargs to lose to Kyber. Which is the slightly more unlikely outcome. Like, if you need Kyber to lose to Sargs, I'd say that would be a little more likely. But I give Sargs about a 60% chance to beat Kyber.
Yeah.
It's going to be tough, but maybe the G-Meister Geodudes can pull out a miracle playoff berth.
We'll see. Speaking of Sargs, I believe Sargs is next, yes. Sargs rising up 2 ranks with the Frieza something.
Yeah, I think it's the Dominican Friezas.
The Dominican Friezas. Sargs had a decent pair of matches this week. He won in one of them. His other matchup was
against me.
God. Yes, and you beat him.
Yeah, I brought Cosmog. It went out there against Woobat, did like 14 and died.
It was very disrespectful that you brought Cosmog, and also sacked your Onix for dick all against.
That was a different.
Oh wait, that was Geyser. That was Geyser. You're right.
Yeah, save it for later.
Onix actually did some stuff this match. Yeah, I mean, Lil Squirt was pulling his weight. Lileap actually pulled a lot of weight. Is now the kill leader for the Dominican Freezes. Scarf Mienfu was an asset in his matches this week in particular. And you know, Woobat got off a Calm Mind. Is that the first time Woobat's gotten off a Calm Mind all season?
First or second.
Which is a crying shame, because that's like the thing Woobat does.
Indeed.
But yeah, it's nice to see. Sargs has the best chances of making playoffs. I'd say of the 3, he's probably...
He's got like the most likely outcome.
Yeah, I think it's 55-45. I think there's a 55% chance he makes playoffs, 40% Kyber makes playoffs, and a 5% chance Garrett makes playoffs. Which when you won your first match of the season last week, that's decent. That's good thing to hear. So, you know, it's good to see Sargs. I wish him the best of luck against Kyber. He's got a good team. He should do well.
Yep.
Next up, we've got in number 12, dropping one spot, we have a Donut Cat who needs to win to make playoffs. But let's talk about Donut Cat's matches because they were frustrating.
Unfortunately, which is, yeah, that's frustrating. That forfeit.
Yeah.
And then the one that was played
was also frustrating. Brought in, he didn't bring his, what's his face? Rice Krispie, the fluff ball.
Huh?
The little fluffy cotton thing.
What are you talking about?
The dude.
He does not have any fluffy
Not on his team.
things.
His opponent's team. Swirlix. He didn't bring Poniard in against Swirlix, and he sacked off a Poplio for no good reason.
That's right. That did happen. I'm disappointed in that.
Eevee with the Detect Last Resort set is gimmicky, but I kind of dig it. Black Sludge is definitely an item that can be ran on a Salandit.
It can be. I think Berry Juice is better.
Yeah, probably. This was his, he's got a weird Poplio obsession, I think. I feel like he's underrepresenting his team. You never see Inkay, you never see Drifloon, Axew's never running First Impression. I just, kind of wonder what's going on there, bud. But Donut Cat does, playoff situation is, who's Donut Cat facing this week? Jamal, right?
Yeah, they fight each other for a playoff spot.
Yeah, Jamal versus Donut Cat is a playoff fight. And that's going to be really fun to watch. I wish Donut Cat the best of luck. I also wish our next person, Jamal, the best of luck, who's actually traded spots with Donut Cat by picking up a impressive win over Weebo this week. So his win versus Weebo, let's talk about it. Jamal didn't earn that win.
He fought hard, but Weebo was really throwing it away.
Yeah, that was Weebo. The biggest throw there was Weebo should have sacked Mudbray to get Skitty in to hit another fake out. Fake out plus Sucker Punch wins the end game there. It's nice to see Ghastly
fighting his Carvana as well.
Yeah, Carvana went to the wind for no good reason. Instead of bringing in Timber to handle the Ghastly. But Jamal actually, I think Jamal's more impressive match is his loss this week. He lost to Wolfhaley by 8% on a Fampy. That could have easily been snagged if he had at one point used a Shadow Ball that would have dealt more than a Sludge Wave to that very Fampy earlier on in the game. Now, it wouldn't have had a chance to poison.
It would have, but it wouldn't have mattered. He would have done enough damage. He only got poison damage once.
He also had a really suspect play where he ran a Psychic into, I think it was into a Picky Peck instead of a Strength Sap. Which meant his Frillish went down. Frillish walled almost all of Wolfhaley's team this week. And so preserving it should have been like your #1 goal. So Jamal made a couple mistakes and ended up costing him this game versus Wolfhaley that would have solidified his playoff spot without question. And I think Jamal is slightly favored to win versus Donut Cat. What do you think?
I agree. I just think Jamal uses some more creative sets and is more willing to put the time and effort in.
I think it's like a 60-40 though. Maybe a 65. Jamal has talked about his arc, his redemption arc, and maybe this is the beginning of it. maybe we're going to see him beat Donut Cat and then start plowing through playoffs, you know? Prove to us that you can redeem yourself, Jamal. Yeah, I wish him the best of luck, as I've said to everyone so far, but now let's get out of the people that are scrambling for a playoff spot. And let's talk about my boy, Gandhi. Gandhi, his first match of the week was a favorable forfeit. Yep.
And then,
ODF schedule.
The other match, a painful 2-0 loss to Wolfhaley. A 50-50 chance on whether or not he won.
Yep.
We played crit. He was a leak, which I think is a pretty heat set. I like it. It was a leak.
It did really well this game. I picked up
it went off. All it needed was a little bit of a crit on a Clampuro, and then the Munchlax that was remaining was dead to a CC.
Yeah. I love how Gandhi played this game. He maneuvered his Skrelp to keep Toxic Spike pressure off. And he just exclusively played towards his win con. He understood the prerogative. He understood Farfetch'd Galar is my win condition. I need to play towards it. I need to facilitate it. And that's just really conscious playing, and I appreciate it. And if that Leaf Blade crit, like we said, he wins that game. Clampro goes down in one hit. Munchlax dies. It was so close. And even though Gandhi's sitting at 10th, Gandhi is always a threat. I don't think 10th properly represents Gandhi's strength as a player. Gandhi is up against Chronoculars this week. Should be an easy win for him. It would be one hell of an upset if he lost. Some interesting things though. Froakie notably has no kills, and Ferroseed has barely come. So there's some unlocked.
Also has none, yeah. But look at this. Yeah. Farfetch'd Galar and Geodude both with 8 kills.
That's lovely. That's great. Oh, this is outdated. He has a Geodude, not a Dino.
Oh yeah, huh. I guess we never noticed that one.
Just
honestly, God, I just realized Geodude is ahead of Talo for Tier 5 of the season.
My lord. And Tier 5 of the season is decided before playoffs.
Yeah.
Isn't it? Yeah, that's how we do it.
I don't know. We might not have to go by just kills in this one. But we'll see. Because, I mean, granted, I think 4 of Geodude's kills came in the week 5 against my team.
If Geodude wins on kills, I'm giving it Tier 5 of the season. Because that's funny. That's really fucking funny. I'm sorry.
Geodude and Tail were just both milking me for most of their kills.
You are Geodude's cow.
I think 8 of my Pokemon have died to either a Geodude or a Talo.
That's insane.
Speaking
of Talo, tailing the number 8 spot is in the number 9 spot, Hydreigon.
I know. Congratulations to Hydreigon for clinching playoffs this season.
Yeah, Hydreigon pulled... Hydreigon... God, I forgot Hydreigon's matches this week.
He faced Garrett and Billette.
And he beat Garrett.
Nearly took a sweep of the 2, but just lost to Billette.
Yes, you want to talk about that Billette matchup, if I recall, it was very, very close.
It was very, very close and very, very winnable. He took a really risky Hydro Pump play for some reason on a Mincino, and he paid the price for that. He got tail slapped for it. That definitely wasn't the greatest idea. I'm not really sure why he'd do that when he can just safely Volt Switch. I don't think he had any Pokemon left.
No, he didn't.
At the time. So, just Volt Switch, the thing's at like 20%. Or it was at a point where I know Volt Switch would have killed Thunderbolt if he had it.
Yeah, that was a winnable game. If he was at full health versus Tortuga, I don't know if it would have mattered.
It might have. I don't think he died to a Tortuga Earthquake unboosted.
But he was also... I think Tortuga would have killed him on 1 HP. Some maneuvering could have... I think some better maneuvering could have won him this game, though. And then his match versus Garrett. Yeah, that was luck. He got lucky that his Magby didn't get paralyzed. It happens.
Story of the season.
Yeah. Hydreigon's a bit of a lucky boy. A bit of a lucky...
A bit of a luckster.
A bit of a huckster McLuckster. A bit of a gambling man. So yeah, Hydreigon, who's Hydreigon up against this week?
That's a very good question. Let's check. Let's go here. Schedule. It is Geyser. Gonna be his top one.
That's gonna be Kaiser's got good chance there, but honestly, I think that's pretty winnable for Hydreigon if he plays smart.
If he does, yeah, I definitely think his Magby is gonna be a powerful tool.
And then when people die, he'll have a good chance to get rid of his bad tier 5s and tier 6. And maybe pick up some good ones.
Perhaps.
Perhaps.
I guess only time will tell.
Speaking of time, it's time for number 8. Weebo!
It's Weebo.
Weebo took, obviously, a huge loss to Jamal. Shocking loss. And almost took a loss to Chronoculars. Weebo had a tough couple of weeks.
Definitely.
And he ended up basically net 0-0-0 for these 2 weeks. I don't think he didn't move at all. And like, he's safe. He's making playoffs, but it's a really disappointing performance for a really strong team.
Was this our number 1 team?
Yeah, this was our pretty sure this was our number 1 team.
Yeah, I think it was.
Very disappointing here. I'm very disappointed in you, Weebo. No, no.
I am. He threw it to the match.
Yeah, he absolutely threw that game versus Jamal.
And that's the second one. He threw the one against Donut Cat this season too.
Yeah, Weebo,
you could be undefeated. You could be undefeated probably. Very close to it. You haven't faced Wolfhaley yet.
And his battle versus Wolfhaley should be a very good one if Weebo's able to live up to his potential. Prep hard, think about your plays, or you're going to die in playoffs. This kind of wishy-washy performance won't get you past the quarterfinals at best. Ugh, come on, you're better than this. Speaking of better than this, number 7 is better than number 8.
Oh, you're wrong.
But we're not on number 7. This is number 6. So we got a tie for number 6 between Geyser and ODF. We're gonna look at ODF first, because what? Because ODF had a very boring day.
Oh,
so I'm just gonna talk about it.
ODF so boring.
They were both forfeits. ODF took a negative forfeit and a positive forfeit. Bad communication with Donut Cat and bad communication with Gandhi. Happens to the best of us. ODF does represent, that is 2 of the 3 forfeit matches in the actual season. So
yeah, half of his matches this season have ended in forfeits.
If you count the week 5, yeah. ODF is clinched for playoffs. These teams are pretty good.
Ruby v Sapphire Showdown. No. That was a 4. He beat Garrett 4-0.
Oh. He's only had 2 forfeits. The other one was 0-0 non-forfeit.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that one.
Yeah.
I don't know, I just saw 0-0. I was like, oh, forfeit.
Yeah, we haven't had a Week 6 was our first forfeit, actually. which is other than, well, sorry, week 5 was our first forfeit. So ODF, is he safe? Oh, who's ODF up against this week?
Shall check. See, we've got ODF up against Jaw. Gonna be a tough one for him.
Yeah, that's a really rough match. I wouldn't be surprised if ODF falls a little bit in the rankings here because Jaw is a top competitor in the division. And now we'll take a look at Geyser, who actually played both of his matches this week. Ooh. So Geyser played you and Pratty, yes. Took a pretty slim loss to Pratty. Just ended up, Pratty had a lot of the tools to beat him, but he ended up coming real close to picking up the Sandshrew-Alola sweep. It was like a 1-0. Riolo getting to go off with do a little prankster sunny day was really the thing that put the nail in his coffin. It was really just a back and forth game, not a whole lot to comment on, pretty clean. And then he Q-boned. He absolutely boned your Onyx. You want to talk a little bit about your match now?
Yeah, so at the start of the match, I got the Q-bone on Onyx League. Not the ideal one I wanted, but I know I'm about to take a bone meringue, so I guess I'll just get my rocks up and die, and that is what I did. Then I got webs up in the match, but then he spun them away with the lone Sandshrew. So that kind of pissed in my Cheerios. But
yeah, it was
at the
big.
end of the day, his Abra was not able to beat my Scraggy because it did not have a dazzling gleam. So I took a very slim and hard-fought 1-0 victory.
Geyser, there's some really tight matches this week. Geyser is up against
Hydreigon.
Hydreigon, that's right. Very winnable match. Geyser, I wouldn't be surprised if we see him rise to the ranks. Geyser is always a threat. And yeah, we'll see him in playoffs. He can't get a bye, unlike our next competitor who maybe can. Yes,
yep.
It's you. We just talked about your match with Geyser.
Yeah. And then I had my other one against Sargs, but yeah, and I'm up against Pratty next week.
And if you win it, you get the bye. If you lose it, Pratty gets the bye. So a very fun match. It's going to be very tight. I think it's basically a 50-50. It could go either way. It's going to be close. It's going to be fun. Your match against Sargs once again solidified to me. Grimer is a fantastic Pokemon.
That boy. Yeah.
He's...
Oh, speaking of which, defensive Intimidate Scraggy was eaten this week. It was taking no type of damage from anything.
36% from a super effective Brick Break, brushing it off like it ain't shit, eating up that Shadow Ball from an Abra to win the game. It was munching. Dewpider did disgusting amounts of damage with a Surf at one point.
Yeah, just casually smacking a Magnemite right in the teeth.
Yeah, this team's impressive. It's its little nasty little team. Oh, little silly boy. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised for it to do very, very well in playoffs. Speaking of 4. I set it up. I set it up this time.
Yeah, he did a segue. Look at our budget's gone up.
It's Pratyush, who you have to beat to get your playoff spot, or he has to beat you to get his playoff spot. I believe his team is updated from this too, but Slowpoke G is so big. What the hell?
His sprite and his ass, dude, that thing's got like the king of dumpies.
It's so big. I mean...
Yeah, and it was eating. It ate every attack. It was like my Scraggy. That thing just ate and ate and ate. He was taking 48 from a stab U-turn from Scorbunny. Like, come on.
It's such a chonker, man. Meowth came with a vengeance this week, picking up 4 kills in just 1 match. That's scary. I think it was 5 in the week.
Okay.
In the 2 weeks together, but it was 4 in the match. Praty's matches, he won both of his matches these weeks. Praty is a threat to end all threats. I wouldn't be surprised if you ran back his week 1 loss and boom, he wins it and he's top of the division. Pratyush is incredible. He's just got a lot going on here. He's got a lot of thickums. He's also got Grimer A, and I love Grimer. I also love Grimer A. He's got like, I love how he has 2 like variant forms of fantastic Pokemon that are also just fantastic Pokemon. That's kind of neat. Speaking of kind of neat, it's kind of neat that Jaw is in 3rd place. Oh, he can get the 1 seed. Okay.
He can.
So if Wolfhaley loses to what, Garrett?
No,
that's Billette.
Is up against Weebo.
Ah, yes, that's right. And Jaw is up against
Odia.
Ah, pretty winnable match for Jaw. Speaking of winnable matches, Jaw had some clearly winnable matches because he won them both.
Yeah.
Jaw has achieved something incredible. Every single one of his Pokemon has a kill. And Pampor has 5.
Clear tier 6 of the season front runner.
Yeah, absolutely. Sorry, Bon Sweet.
I think it's over for Bon Sweet.
Yeah. Pineco, Keith had a decent performance this season. These weeks, pardon me. And yeah, and he didn't bring Diglett either weeks, which was interesting. He bought Shinx. This is a guy that really knows how to use his tier 6s. And none of his Pokemon have more than 5 kills. He's just
interesting.
He just plays slow, doesn't go for sweeps.
Pampor is tied for his kill leader.
He might have something with 6. I think Pampor is tied for kill leader. I wouldn't be surprised.
I'm checking right now. Oh my god, yeah, it's tied with Pancham. 2 Pans. Pancham, Pampor.
That's so funny.
Okay, he's got 2 Pokemon with 5, but then 4 Pokemon with 4.
That's... yeah. He's just really good.
He's spreading those kills out.
Yeah, spreading them out.
Teams.
And, you know, that's a good strategy. Jaw plays it slow, and he's got a chance of actually getting ahead of Wolfhaley at the end of this. So, we'll wait and see. Speaking of Wolfhaley, they're not in the number 2 slot. Whoa. Can they actually lose the number 1 seed?
Huh? Yes, if they lose, and I think Praty has to be the one who wins, unless they get unless Billette gets 6-0'd and I absolutely demolish Praty.
Okay, so it depends on differential.
Get the 1 seed, but if Praty wins, he's got a chance.
So Billette's obviously had an amazing season. Got a favorable forfeit versus Kyber. And then had that second match that ended up being incredibly close versus... who was it? God.
That shock check, is that... oh, yeah.
It's on the tip of my tongue. Was it Hydreigon?
Hydreigon.
Hydreigon. Ah! You know, this team, I think it loses some of its strength with time because it just isn't a super diverse team. It doesn't have a whole lot going on. You know, there's a reason it lost a lot of points for multidimensionality. These are a lot of pretty one-note Pokemon.
Only 7 of his Pokemon have a kill.
Yeah, and that might be the lowest in the league. I wouldn't be surprised.
Oh, it has to be.
Especially for where he's ranked. Those tier 4s are just bad. None of them have kills.
Yeah.
And we called it from the start that his tier 4s were bad. Like, Billette plays with a lot of skill, builds with some smart sets, but I think he's starting to be found out. His matches are getting closer and closer. And he's playing...
His opponents, coincidentally, are getting worse and worse.
Yeah, his hardest matches were at the beginning of the season, where at the beginning, multidimensionality is the least important, because people haven't learned yet. Billette, I think, needs to make some changes into playoffs, or I would be surprised if Billette wins this. I would legitimately... I think the odds are... I think the number 2 and number 1 are not the two most likely people to win playoffs. Because both of them suffer from a little bit of that issue. They've had a bit of diminishing returns recently. They lack a bit of multidimensionality. So I'm not saying that Billette's bad. I don't want that on my record, but there's a chance that we see a little bit of a crumble. Now, this week should be fairly easy. He's up against Garrett. He just needs to win it. And he's got his 1 seed. 1 seed, not really more important than the 2 seed, but, you know, it's for ego. I wish him the best. But if he wants to be the one to win it all, he needs to learn how to use his Pokemon in a lot of ways. More ways than 1. Speaking of 1!
Jesus Christ.
It's Wolfhaley. Hi, Wolfhaley. He needs to win for his 1 seed. He had some close matches this week. Like, both of his matches were close. Like, razor thin close. Especially his match versus Jamal that we talked in length about, where he could have made no more mistakes than he did and still lost. I'm just now realizing, is Mankey still on his team? Because if it is, we, like, never see it.
I'm pretty sure it is.
Alright. Piplup came, didn't do so hot.
It is, yeah. One kill this season.
You know, he has a Piplup and a Horsey. I don't know why he has... His tier 5s are not good. Piplup, Horsey, and Fomantis. You already have a water type. God, I made these complaints before.
He's got 3 waters.
He's just got so many sweeping threats and so many significant threats that...
Got a lot of breakers, yeah.
Yeah, he's got so many breakers that I think that's what's carrying him a lot of the time. I think if people played a little bit tighter, Wolfhaley wouldn't be as high up as he is. That's not to say Wolfhaley is bad, as I will say again, but I'm just saying there's options. Wolfhaley is not a definitive number 1. And even though we've seen Wolfhaley and Billette at the top of this all season, they've got their weaknesses. For everyone who isn't named Wolfhaley or Billette, always look for the Achilles heel. I guess they can also look for the Achilles heel. Is everyone's got a weakness. In
so
like...
Remember, in Season 2, I was the 1 seed and I didn't win at all. Season 3, Shady was the 1 seed, he didn't win at all. Did he? No.
He did win it all.
Oh.
He was the 1 seed and he won.
He wasn't... No, well, damn. Well, it's not going to happen this season because one of us underdogs is going to beat the shit out of both of them.
Yeah, by underdogs you mean like the 4 seed.
Hey, it still counts.
You know, actually, I've got my money on Garrett's gonna win it all. Actually, he's gonna beat Billette.
Pull out the best comeback in history.
It would literally, honestly, I would give him Vegas betting odds of 1,000 to 1 for winning the playoffs.
Probably about what it would be, yeah.
And speaking of Vegas betting odds, who wants to start gambling on the... let's get into stats and facts. You want to take away our top 2 facts, because I always do the facts.
Sure. Well, as we have previously talked about, congratulations on your achievement of getting 1 kill with every single one of your Pokemon. Quite impressive. Definitely the sign of a good trainer. And then week 6 was the first week of regular season that actually counted towards differential and all that. To have a forfeit, you know, too bad we couldn't get through the whole season, but yes, it happened.
Let's
we won't have any week 8 forfeits.
One thing I do want to say, let's avoid end season burnout. It happens. I know it gets kind of hard. You're kind of slugging through it. Try to stay engaged, and especially let's try to avoid playoff burnout, which I have felt every season. We have a little bit of interest. We have interest burnout from people watching, and we have match burnout. Things struggle to happen. Don't do that to me this playoffs. We've got to do it, okay?
We've got some real good playoff matchups possibly coming up, so not going to want to miss them. My match of the week was Gandhi versus Wolfhaley. Like I talked about this earlier, the 50-50 on the Leaf Blade on Clan Pearl. I just realized I put lost instead of loss, but no, it's a bit late now. And yeah, it was a fun match to watch. He almost reverse swept him, but it was a coin toss away, just like Sargs in week 1.
Yep, my match of the week, Wolfhaley versus Jamal. A real nail biter. Jamal, I went over all of his little misplays. He had it. He just had that one. There was no luck here. Jamal could have won it with sharper play, but if he's going to do a redemption arc, this is a great low point. Having, like, a really winnable game against a really impressive opponent, but screwing it up. Now's your time. This is your anime moment, Jamal. This is it. Win the entire season. I give you Vegas betting odds of 200 to 1 to do it. Win it all, Jamal. You know, I think I've got one more important thing I want to say. You know, that's it. Go away.